awesome!
Hey y'all, Noons here, Airborne RC, and welcome back. And if it's your first time here, hit the like and subscribe button so you can get notified for future content. Today will be a quick video on a Xicoy LG15 brake controller. If you guys aren't really familiar with one of those, obviously when you get into your bigger jets, you're going to get brakes. A lot of the brakes out there come with their own brake controllers. Very popular out there is JP. Love JP brakes, really don't have a problem. For the price for what you get, with everything, you really can't complain. Thing is, when you go to stop, you really got to mess with them. If it pulls more on the right side than the left, you'll have to mess with it. The brake controllers, the standard ones that they come with, the one that came with my Rebel Hot is like this bad boy right here. Right? This is your gear and your brake controller. The only thing is you can only control the brakes proportional. So that means the strength on both sides. You can't make one weaker or one stronger. If you got an HSD Jets with the MFC 2085 board, you can do that from there. But with the controller for retracts, what comes with your JP, you can't. So what I went ahead and I did at recommendations from some friends and reviews is I bought a Xicoy LG15 controller. Usually comes with the Electron gear. It's a very high-end gear. I went ahead and I got it. One of my friends from up in Tucson came down. He has the same thing in the same jet, so he helped me set it up and give me the rundown on it. So you guys ready? Let's go check it out. Alright guys, here's my Rebel Hot. Don't worry about this. This is going to just be a stand for my camera in a second, guys. And here's the Xicoy LG15 controller. It is a color touch screen. It's powered from the receiver. It does get its own power supply on this side. 6-pin connector. That's what powers the actual retracts and the brakes. The unit's powered from the receiver. Your leads for your brakes and your gear go on this side, and on this side is your receiver inputs. So you have your gear in, your gear out, and you have your steering in and steering out. The reason why you have steering in and steering out is this has a gyro to help you steer straight down the runway. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this bad boy turned on. Go ahead and prop you guys up. Excuse the angle, guys, but it's what I can get to make it work. Alright, now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and power on the receiver. Now I went ahead and I picked this up from Pacific RC Jets. If you get the Xicoy one, it's usually locked to those gear. Pacific Jets, they do come unlocked. First thing you come up is you notice is it says check switch. That's a safety precaution. So you don't crash your gear when you first turn it on. You have your gear down. You don't want your gear down. So for the gear switch that's assigned, we go ahead and we cycle that gear.
Gear down. Gear up.
And there you go. Now she's ready and initialized. So let's go through a few of the features that you got built in here. All right, we'll go over here to setup. Go over here to setup, and then you have your steering. Alright, you have your center, which is basically centering your front landing gear to go straight down the runway. You have your gain. I got that set at 100%, so I got full deflection. And then I have my gyro gain. That's how much gyro I want for it to actually happen. For it to go to hold going down. I don't want too much because I don't want it to oscillate down the runway or tip over, and I don't want too little. So my buddy from Tucson came down, and that's pretty much a good starting point from what he went ahead and he said. Now if the gyro's working opposite directions, that's okay. All you do is, it says even right here, negative numbers equals reverse. So if you're getting the wrong deflection, that's all you got to do is get reverse the numbers to a negative. Okay. Gotta set up. Next will be brake. All right, brake adjustments. Pulse ratio, 1/5. What that means is, let's say I have the brakes at 100%. These are going to go ahead and pulse. So at 1/5, it's going to give it 1/5 the strength on and off. So just imagine it doing, let's say for math's sake, 100% is full. So it's going to go to 1/5 the percent, which is 20. So it'll go 120, 120, 120, 120, 100% to 20%, 100%, 20%. That'll keep the brakes from actually locking up. For bigger models, you can increase this to go ahead and do 2/3 or half pulse. Your steering mix, I have 0% steering mix. That's if you want the front gear. If it starts to slide a little bit towards the left, the front gear will correct. I'm not going to be using that. And I got my gyro mix. How much? And yes, there is a gyro on the brakes. Reason is, if it starts to go to the right, it's going to actually free up the brake on the right side, so it will go back left. It's just like heading hold on an airplane and a helicopter. It's going to try and make it go straight down the runway. Okay? You go ahead and you click your proportional, it'll take you to your heading hold. And that's what I got. I got that set up right there, and the reason why I got that set up is it's going to go down the runway. The problem I was having with this jet is it was due a Tokyo drift, and this is going to go ahead and fix that. If it starts Tokyo drifting to the right, it's going to go ahead and free up that right tire and lock down that left one to get it going back down straight. All right, you got your power up. Your power up, I have it set on cycle switch. You can change it to powering on. It's going to go ahead and do whatever that switch is on. As soon as you go ahead and gear always down, it will finally initialize the controller. Or what I have it set on a cycle switch, you cycle the gear switch, just like on a lot of the other models, like the Avios MiG-17, you have to cycle it. It's not going to move the gear up and down, it's just to actually turn on the unit. All right. Sequencer, if you got door sequencers, that's the menu you're going to go down. Also, if you have any servos to do any special features that go with the sequencer for your gear doors, and your radio button. With the radio button, I won't go too deep into that. That's where you go ahead and you set it up. You go ahead and you plug your leads in, and it's going to ask you touch OK when the brake is in the off position. So I got mine set up on a trigger button. I let go of the trigger, I hit OK. It wants to know when you have it pulled. It's basically just getting the endpoints so it knows what you want it to do. And once you get all that set up, she's pretty much ready to go. With the gains, it's like I said, it's at 31% for the brakes, 41% for the steering. That's not too crazy. If I need more on the first flight, I'll go ahead and I'll change it up. Page 2, you have servo speed, what type of motors you're going to be using for that. That's for your landing gear. You must know what your landing gear for the JP brakes for this model. These are using the ER120s. They're running at 0.5 amps for the nose and the main. And my max time cutoff and my unload time is 0.1. These numbers were given to my buddy. He did his research. All gear is different. Make sure you input this in there, just like a flybarless unit. If you don't do that, it's going to go ahead and fry your system. So let's go ahead and go to the main menu. It's telling us our gear is up. So I'm going to go ahead and do a zoom out, guys, and take you out of the headrest. Okay. So we have gears up. We're going to go ahead and supply power to the retracts. Now my retracts are live. Now when I go ahead and I tell it down, it's going to go ahead and lower the front tire down. There it goes. Alright, let me go ahead and move this out of the way. Show you some of these cool features. So, it moves left and moves right, just like normal.
Time to stop.
Now I'm going to see if I can go ahead and get this on camera. Show you in the back. Now watch what happens when I move the plane left. You hear that? That steering wheel, it is trying to correct. So if we go ahead and we come to the left, it's turning to the right. If we go to the right, it goes to the left. Pretty cool, huh? The other cool feature with this is, well, back to this, right? So let's say you're going down the runway and you're going full stream down, you hit a rock or a bump, and then your jet goes to the left or to the right. Now you got to steer it at high speed. Well, guess what, guys? That thing right there, that's going to make it go straight down that runway like no issues. The other thing right here built in is when you have full movement of your gear, right? But when you retract your gear, it centers out your servo and it turns off your nose gear. Ain't that pretty cool? Now, as far as the brakes do not work in the up position, so we'll lower the brakes down. I do not have the wings on for this, guys. Forgive me. This is a quick video. And this is basically right here. I have it set at 80% on both sides at 1.8 seconds.
Brakes disengaged. Brakes engaging.
Pretty cool, huh?
Brakes disengaged.
So hey y'all, that's pretty much it with the Xicoy controller. I thought it was going to be a little more confusing and some have to learn like a fly barless unit for a helicopter. But my buddy showed it to me and just like that. So this is all you need to run it, and that was pretty much it. I did take it out one day with the jet to get the brakes set up and how it's running. I have not used it for a flight. I'm really excited to see if this works with no Tokyo drift or anything, guys. So as soon as the heat plays nice with us, we'll get on out there and we'll see how that thing works. All right, till then, take care, guys. Noon's out.
Get some!